fun. Master Vito Hyundai. Contact the sales force. CRM Rental Management. The Clinton Tractor and Implement Company. Contact the Caledona family. Hello, Yeti Nation. Get down to the Bag Square Brewing Company, downtown Utica. Fay Farms. Where's the beef at? Contact Jimmy Fay. Family Landscaping. Make your neighbors green with envy. Contact Russ. The Black River Ale House. Where the Romans go. Dura Products. Who's got the pipe? Jimmy Fay's got the pipe. Contact Jimmy Fay for irrigation, drainage, pool, and spa. You building a new house? Contact Jimmy Fay. He's got your stuff. The B-Dry System. Your basement's wet? Get a hold of B-Dry. Believe in 271. Nobody fights alone. Eric Kiefer, LUTCF. Your local representative. George Kaler, Sales and Service. Liberty Affordable Housing. Rome Sign and Display Company. Nice Scoba. The men and women in blue, thank you for what you do. Robert Dix Insurance Agency. Contact Bobby Dix. Tri-City Lacrosse. 40 years of summer fun. Master Vito Hyundai. Contact the sales force. CRM Rental Management. The Clinton Tractor and Implement Company. Contact the Caledona family. Hello, Yeti Nation. Get down to the Bag Square Brewing Company, downtown Utica. Fay Farms. Where's the beef at? Contact Jimmy Fay. Family. What's up, Yeti Nation? Trevor Butts, good evening to you. How is everybody doing out there? Trevor, how are you doing, my man?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I'm living the dream. We're here with the Blue Squatch Productions doing what we do. Greg is out being Papa Squatch, doing the Squatch thing, and we're brought to you by the family of Blue Squatch Productions. Thank you, family of Blue Squatch Productions. You guys are the bomb. We are here. We're champions. I'm sorry, Blue Squatch Productions, but me and this guy that I'm talking to, look at that. Look at that. That's what it looks like. Congratulations, Buffalo Bandits, on back-to-back national championships in Buffalo. What a great game. What a great weekend Friday night. Myself and my wife and family, a lot of Utica Yeti were at the game, and it was an incredible time. Trevor, you said you was at Albany as well?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to be able to go to both games. It was an absolute blast.
Obviously, there's no comparison between Banditland and the I call it the Egg because there's a art museum right on the backside of the MVP arena. So I call it the Egg. It's what it's shaped like. The egg is actually, but MVP is thank gosh the Buffalo Bandits fans showed up in true colors as they always do, and Mike Falvo, the announcer. Friend of the Yeti, he had the place rocking, and the Bandits had the place rocking. The fans had the BOX, box, woo, baby. It was it was great stuff. It was awesome to be there. Being a Bandits fan, and I say Bandits fan, I'm also a Albany. I'm in Utica. I'm in between. I'm the tweener. So, but being from Buffalo, I'm definitely a Bandits fan. Being a friend of Greg Beach, I become a Albany fan as well. But true colors are black, orange, and some purple in there.
You're exactly right. Mine are the same way. It was just awesome to be able to get up to Albany for that first game. We, Bandits fans, no real surprise. We brought the intensity, we brought the crowds, we brought the noise. It was, a party atmosphere. I was sitting right behind the bench with all the other Bandit fans, and it was a crazy environment. But I will say credit to the Albany fans. I really think like this playoff run is really helping them, and I really hope that they can continue to just build their attendance up. And I want to be coming back to MVP Arena next year and having to open up the upper deck
Yeah,
because like
yeah.
it's a great place to see a lacrosse game, and the fans were very into it, and they're very educated about the game, as you can tell.
The fans definitely from I was at the first game of the season, Buffalo against the Albany there, and the clearly the fan attendance it kept on growing throughout the season, so that's a great thing. And props to the fans, absolutely, the Bandits fans and also Albany. I tell you, I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, so I come from the age of 1980s where the Bills and the Dolphins. It was pretty bad to go to it, and you sat in the end zone concept. They're vicious, and you know it's great to see that crazy environment in both arenas, MVP and also in Bandit Land. And you want to know what? There's a lot of cool fans. As far as don't get me wrong, you got your sometime your jerks, and will be politically correct and nice and everything because if we want to make it a PG, there are some people that definitely can be, or seriously, really, why? Type of thing. But props to both fans in Buffalo and Albany because you know it, polite fans. That's the cool thing. That's part of the medicine, I guess. That's the
Albany fans have been great to us. Like I went up for that first game as well, and the two times I've went up there, I've had a few different people coming up to us, and us being my friends and I just saying like, "Oh my God, we love how you guys travel. You guys are such a great fan base." Like everybody was so nice. Like they answered any questions we had about like getting around and navigating the city and just they're just a city of great people up there. They were all very helpful, and I'm really glad that that was the finals matchup. Looking
yeah.
back on it now,
Yeah, it was a great. There was question throughout the year. Albany started out on fire throughout the year, and then all of a sudden they started to peter out, and Buffalo was, up at the top, and then was petering out, and all of a sudden, they make a trade, and Maddie comes back looking and feeling obviously like Maddie the Young, and it was a great series. It was a great series. Looking at the stats and you know the first game, you can't ask for a better first game. The last goal was an empty netter concept. So down in Albany. So I think it was 11-8. That was, if I'm not mistaken. I could be completely. Getty was running back into the goal and he shot
yeah,
it in. That's right.
yeah.
So
The only
eh,
goal that Dane Smith did not factor in on in that
how
game.
about that? 11 points, man. 11 points. And
He's the best player in the world.
he gets it done. And that's the one thing I was looking at Albany's stats going, well, okay, Simmons was 2-4. Okay, but I'm looking at the rest of the goals and everything, and I'm like 2-4. Well, they only had 8, so he was part of 6 of the goals, but there was only 2 goals that he had. They Buffalo stymied him. They shut him down. They beat him down. They ragged him. They put him in the wall. They made him out of his element, and that's where I was totally surprised was Buffalo not going into the penalty box for those. What's his name? Grennan Gretsch or Grennan, the Gremlin they call him there, 28 for
Oh,
Albany.
Nathan Grennan. Yeah,
Grennan. As far as he usually gets in their skin one way or the other, and you want to know what they focused. They played like champions. They really been there. We've done this. You want to know what? Stay focused. In the Buffalo game, what was his 77 there?
Zach Belter.
Belcher.
Yep.
Belcher was getting ready to go and get some stuff done because he had about enough of it. And I don't know who it was. Maybe it was Polino 23 there, grabbed him and brought him back in and said, no, 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 no. He wants that. No, 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 no. Step back. We got we got a big party to have.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that first game, I was really surprised as well. How well the Bandits were able to stay out of the penalty box. I mean, as a fan, somebody who watches every single game, that's my biggest complaint with the team is that they are constantly, it seems like, in the penalty box. I mean, we've had them where nobody's even had a possession yet, and we're in the box to start a game, and
Yeah.
it's like the fact they were able to do that for that first game was so crucial to our success. And then Albany was a little bit more undisciplined than I would say they typically are. I mean, 4 penalties, and I know the stats only say 2 goals. I know one of them for sure was seconds after the guy got out of the box. So in essence, another power play goal. And it's like they put the lethal power play on the floor too many times for Buffalo, and I think that hurt him. But no, Alex Simmons, I mean, 2 goals, 4 assists in that first game, uh, 14 shots on goal as well. He was just peppering the cage, and Matt Vince was doing Matt Vince things, just standing on his head. And I do think they got a bright future though. Albany, Alex Simmons. I mean, that dude's going to be a problem for years to come. He is one heck of a player.
And not not just him. As far as Ethan Walker, the youth that Albany has, at their discretion right now, and studs in the stable. As far as we haven't even seen some of these kids that are coming up through the pipelines, and not just for Albany, but for all these teams. It's being in Utica, I've had an opportunity to see some of these young championship U21 games going on this past summer and this summer coming up, and there's incredible athletes playing box lacrosse, and can't wait to see them get to their hopefully their dream level.
Yeah, there's so many great athletes coming up in the system, for not only like Albany, but Buffalo and like you said, the rest of the league. I mean, just we've talked a little bit about Alex Simmons, but I mean, guys like Ty Kurtz as well, Patrick Kastchalk, looking all up and down the roster, Sam Firth. I mean, that dude popped off in game 2, 5 goals. He was
Paulus, Longboat. I mean,
Longboat, Paulus, the list
yeah,
goes on.
right down the they are so young and athletic, and as far as what I was impressed towards the end of the season with Albany is they found their power play early throughout the season. It's the Yeti would have been very comparable on defense against their power play. It wasn't good. And not that the Yeti aren't good, but we're not professionals. That is what I'm getting at there. In regards to the and all of a sudden, at 3/4 of the way through the season, all of a sudden, Longboat does the behind the back pass and to Simmons, and all of a sudden it lights a fire, and the young kids are playing ball and not worried about what's going on. Play ball, play ball.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Real quick here, OJ, the dude,
The dude.
just seeing your chat in here. Greg can't make it this time. He's doing some big things for Blue Squatch that he had to miss this one, unfortunately. But don't worry, I am here. I will fill in for him, and hopefully I am just as good. Hopefully.
You want to know what? Those are big. That's the cool thing about having big feet. You got some big shoes to fill, so that's a cool thing. As far
Definitely.
as absolutely, OJ, Greg will be back. Trevor's taken. He's a graduate of Niagara University and is helping Greg out in the western part of the state with the Can-Am games. So I watched the game Sunday a smidgen. I was able to see some highlights and everything. And last week's game is when I was able to meet you. You didn't meet me, but I met you by you being online, and great stuff, man. Have fun and enjoy doing what you're doing, because that's what spreading the love of the game is all about. No question.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's always a fun time when you get to be just around the game of lacrosse, and let alone when you get to talk about it. And it's just, such a fun time. And it was a new experience for me. I really hadn't done many of like the on floor interviews or stuff like that. And Greg gave me the opportunity, and I'm really thankful for that.
Take the bull by the horn, man. That's the biggest thing. Is believe me, I know exactly what you're talking about. Some of the stuff that I do, it's never been you know it, I do PA announcing. I'm recruiting a lot of things that go on, and I never thought I'd be doing any of this 3 years ago. And we're on year 4 now, and I'm like, the people that I've met, Trevor Butts, OJ, the dude, Josh down in Albany, you know, some great Polly Walnuts, some great fans throughout the organizations, and it's been a blast. You know, growing the semi-professional, but also covering the professionals in Buffalo. So, as far as welcome aboard, enjoy the ride, and rock out, man. Have some fun, family fun, as the dude says. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for the support, OJ. I appreciate it. And yeah, it's always fun, getting to be around the game of lacrosse. I'm just happy to be a part of this, and just happy to be along for the ride. But no, getting back to what we were talking about though with the championship games, I mean, that first game was just incredible. It was an absolute battle. I mean, Albany really came out strong. I was pleasantly surprised with how well they started the game. I was more concerned about the Bandits defense in the moment, of course, but the Bandits defense was able to respond in the second half and just shut down the Firewolves.
Shut them right down. Yeah, I mean, it was a stifling defense. Again, they kept the composure. They didn't do stupid things to lose. Where I thought the game changed was when Frazier got his goal. I was like, that's the game winner. That's going to be the game winning goal. And then in the long run, Albany came back and tied it up. But they scored another goal, and then Albany came back, I think, and tied it up. But as far as Frazier, my obviously you got your role players with Josh and with Dane, but as far as Frazier, there's that's a great player that is clearly and obviously is a starter on a world championship team, back to back world championship team. Uh, as far as he's a great player. Nanato, Frazier, and then you go to the left side, and then Josh. Then you got
Lucier,
Gauthier. You know,
yeah.
I don't foresee him not coming back. Yeah, everybody wants a three-peat, and I got a stat for you, and I got to ask you because you're a big Bandits fan. But we'll do that later on. So remember, I got a question for you. But yeah, Friday night was awesome. It was a great travel. You know, props to everybody down in Albany. It was a great time, but everybody wanted to see the championship get raised in Buffalo on Saturday, and it was all of that. A quick recap is Albany fought and did the best they could do, but that run that they put on and in the third quarter compared to Albany's fourth quarter run was enough to those were desperation goals at the end, trying to get something to happen, and Buffalo had plenty of gas in the tank at the end of that race. There's no question.
Yeah, that like you said, that third quarter run, a 5-0 run there after that's right on the back of a 5-1 Albany run to close out the second and begin the third. So I mean, that's big credit to the Bandits for being able to respond like that with a run, because that goal by Longboat made it a 9-8 game, and at that stage, early third quarter, one goal, it can go either way. But the champs responded, and uh I don't want to say it fully deflated Albany that run, because it didn't. They did come back, but it just kind of put them in too big of a hole. And when you're down by that many that late in the game, it's just so hard to come back against a team with a stifling a defense as the Bandits have.
And once again, they put Alex Simmons in a unfamiliar, the physical beating that kid took, but as far as in panic mode, the young kids were in a panic mode, hurrying up instead of getting the settled situations. They were rushing a couple shots, I thought, instead of getting the right people on at the right time. But then again, Buffalo did what Buffalo does, and they played solid defense. And again didn't go into the penalty box. That's and Matty Vince Vino, as they would say. Is that what it's his nickname, Vino?
Yeah, Vino.
Vino. As far as and even with Jameson down at the other end. I mean, he had a good game too, but that outside shot got him. As far as Buffalo put that outside shot and they had him moving and some screens in front. The dives, the athletic on both teams, the dives. These guys are so athletic. Josh walking on air. As far as that's what the game is all about. And you don't really see anything on primetime TV about it. It's like, you people, I'm flipping through trying to get it and not the stream because of the TV scenario. I had to stream it, and it kept on every time I went to commercial. It would lose the stream. But I'm sitting there going through ESPN, and because I didn't have the ESPNU app, and they got freaking a badminton championships on, and I'm sitting there going, you guys, how are you guys putting badminton on, and you got the national championship, the world championship on? I don't get it, but it's a business world, and that's what hopefully kids these days continue doing what they're doing so that the next generation is going, wow, this is great stuff. And it's 28 teams instead of what do we got, 12 18 teams, 16,
15.
14, 15.
I mean, I slowly but surely, right? It's growing. It's been on the up and up for years. The National Lacrosse League. We're continuing to expand to new cities and maybe relocate a few teams here and there to new cities. Like New York moving to Ottawa, and that'll be an interesting venture for them. And I'm excited to see what Ottawa has to offer as a National Lacrosse League city, because I think that's a great sports town up in Canada. And I'm excited to see how they support the Black Bears. But this league is just, it's so entertaining and so fun. Like you said, I don't know how they're putting badminton or whatever on over the world championship game. It's like kind of unbelievable if you think about it, but just gotta work hard and just try and keep building it up, and it'll get there.
As the dude just said, can't wait for another Canadian team. It's definitely going to, now you got that Ottawa Toronto run. Where is that going to be the main East Coast rivalry? That's going to be pretty cool.
I'm wondering how the rivalry will look maybe between Ottawa Halifax as well.
Even
That'll
closer.
be
I
another
didn't even
one.
think. Yeah, that's probably the one that's going to be pretty cool to see as it
I
grows.
still I still think that Ottawa team might have a bit of a rivalry with Philly though, because that New York and Philly team really didn't those teams really didn't like each other. And I know the team moves cities, but all the players pretty much are they're going to be the same. So that could still be a pretty entertaining matchup too.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no question. As far as that's true. The World Championships aren't until September. Until then we'll have the World Champion. This is the
The
NLL,
International World Championship.
International World Championships. That's right. Thanks, Josh, for reminding us. Or excuse me, the dude. As far as a great game on Saturday night. The Bandit Land. I know everybody strives to, myself as a promoter, I strive to get the, take in what the Bandit Land has to offer, and it's a unique experience. I've been there finally once. I went there when they raised the banner up against San Diego against the Seals, and a great game that was. And I got my last year's banner. It's right here. I don't know if we can see it, but as far as
Yeah.
it's there, as far as we're gonna add to it again, and definitely get up there again next year, because it's a great atmosphere to go watch a lacrosse game, and hopefully we can do the same down here in Utica for the World Games. I can only imagine, after watching the hockey championships this past winter, the World Games are going to be incredible. In regards to the arena, it's a smaller arena, so you're not going to have 19,000. You're going to have 5,000 packed into a 4,000 arena with standing room and everything else. So it's going to be incredible. I'm elated because I'm working the penalty boxes, so I'm like, all right, I know which game I'll work the number 60 game out on field 4 every game, whatever. I'm on field 4. Gold medal game, I'm in the box on gold medal game. That's all I care. So I got my place for the gold medal game, but going up to that, it's going to be an incredible run here in Utica, and hopefully we can make the world want to come back over and over and over and over and over again, because it's a venue that it's learned, and I can't wait to people see the player zone, the party zone that they have going on and have planned. It's going to be a special time in September. But before September, we have the Yeti Nation season coming up on us. I know last week we did a couple announcements, but as far as me being who I am, working hard and diligently on learning these computer apparatuses, hasn't posted our schedule yet. I'm waiting for one more team to confirm what the schedule is so that I can put it in there so I can hit post. But as far as I know, we are opening up our season at home June 21st, and excited about that game against Thousand Islands, or excuse me, against the Seneca Lake Serpents. And then the following week, we're home against the Thousand Island Spirit, and that is the 28th. And then we got a little bit of a break from home because of the 4th of July weekend and everything. And then we're back July 12th. And the Nexus Center is going to be rocking. We got a couple, I'll be making announcements, but it's not just going to be a game anymore. It's come to a point where we need to make this an event for people to get out and hang out and talk to people and be around people that they like to be. So one of our new sponsors, the Utica Club Lounge, is opened up, and we're going to have some live entertainment, some bands playing pre-gaming, starting at around 6 o'clock, a little bit after 6, and playing up to game time. And then the game will take place. Following the game, we don't have to leave anywhere. The game is going up, and the band is going to do a final set, and close the place and send everybody home happy and complete. We got a couple other people that are going to be setting up some booths. We have Brand Y Distillery out of Cortland. They're going to be up there and selling their product, not selling it, displaying their product so that you can go purchase some of their drinks over at the bar, because the bar will be open during the games. And that's the cool thing about the Nexus Center, is if you're at the bar, you won't miss anything, because the game is either right outside the window, or you can just look at the bar and look up, and the games will be right on the TV above you. So if you need to get away in a little bit quieter atmosphere, you can still watch the game and still celebrate when need to be celebrating. And a lot of great sponsors have come forth and helped out, and the season it's right around the corner. I was hoping that we were going to be firing it up the first weekend of June, but June 2nd, we're having our blue-white game. Right now we got 38 guys that are on the roster looking for a 30-man roster spot. So we got to do some trimming at some point in time, and it's going to be determined. A couple determines at the blue-white game. So it's been a long, strange travel we've been going through here, and we've met some new players. We got a lot of great new kids guys, not kids, that have decided they want to play box lacrosse. And, they several of them were at the Albany game on Friday night to see some live pro ball action. And to say the cool part what I do is to see that glimmer in some of those kids' eyes that, you know what, I might have a chance at this, or, I know what, I can't wait till I play and I'm going to try what that guy right there just did. That type of stuff is what it's all about to me, is seeing these kids get the opportunity. So, and then of course, having the coaching staff that we have with Tony Sorcy and Johnny Lehman, and then having legends on our roster with Neil Paulus, Brandon Davis, Jimmy Fay, Jesse DeMays, some of these, not to say older players, but veteran players. They've brought a lot of great things to the young guys, and to watch these guys soak this in. Sunday I found a chair and I just sat in the back and watched I think we had 27 at practice and 3 goalies. So we had a pretty good roster there, and everybody was competing. And to watch everybody compete, that's what you're hoping for, as to get them better. And every one of them wanted to get better, and everybody has a vision. We want to win a division championship, and we want to go to the national championship and win a national championship. There's a process, and we're going to follow that process, and hopefully at the end of the day, be happy and smiley, just like we are right now.
Yeah, that's always the goal, isn't it?
Josh, I can get talking. You got to say, Noecker, shut up, man. You got to shut up for a second. Breathe, man. Breathe.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Take a breath. Take a breath. No, it's always how you want to end your season, right? You always want to end it with a win and, raising a trophy. But it sounds like you guys have a really good team out there. Should be an exciting season. I am hoping to get up for some. We'll have to talk about that in a bit, but I'm excited as well about the Worlds coming to Utica. That should be a really fun event. All the teams coming and playing lacrosse up there. It should be, one heck of a week and change of lacrosse. Hoping to get out there for that as well. That should be awesome. And, bringing it back a little bit, you're talking about the environment at like Banditland and then into the environment up in Utica. And as somebody who's been to games since like 2009 in Buffalo, you almost kind of don't really think anything of it. It's just like, yeah, it's Bandits home game. There's going to be 17 plus thousand people there. Yeah. You got to wait in lines to get in the door. Yeah. That's just how it is. You're playing for it. But then you realize it's not always like that. When you go to Hamilton or you go to Rochester or something, a couple of places I've been, and it's like, oh, you can just walk right in here. There's plenty of space. It's you don't have to get there real early. It's just a completely different environment, and like I say, you almost just don't think anything of it in Buffalo. And I'm just hoping that for you guys up in Utica that it grows bigger and bigger for the Yeti, and then like I said earlier, just continues to grow and grow up in Albany.
Absolutely. There's no question the professional game is going to continue to grow. I mean, these guys, they're starting. Some of them are able to become full-time lacrosse players. Now, when that hits, if they're smart and they play their cards right and they know they have a good agent and stuff like that, you can do it for a little while and you can make a little money off of it. And props to them, as far as, and also props to the guys that blaze the way for everybody to get there, because that's what legends are made of. And speaking of legends, I was at Albany, and me and my wife were coming out of the one of the multiple car parking lots, and we're walking, and all of a sudden I'm looking, and here comes this guy, and he's on his wheelchair. My wife, she's been married to me for 30 some years, or not 30. We've been together 30 some years, but married 26, going on 27. Yeah. Anyhow,
you gotta make sure you get that right.
I am pretty good from the hip too. And as far as she's like, is that Gate right there? Is that Paul Gate? And I'm like, I think it is. And sure as shit, him and a buddy were coming up next on the sidewalk next to MVP, and she rolls the window down, and he's like, "Hey, anybody know how to get to Buffalo?" And I'm like, "You rock!" And it was just cool, a legend. A legend came down to be a part of the experience there, and that's props to him and props to all the legends that have played in the NLL and paved the way for these kids to do what they're doing nowadays. It's great stuff.
Oh, I didn't even know about that. That's awesome. That's so cool. I mean, we all know that the Gates have spent their fair share of time in the city of Buffalo throughout their career, playing against the Bandits, of course, but they're legends. I mean, Darius Kilgore, Richie Kilgore. Richie was at the championship game 2 in Buffalo pregame. Darius is always around. Other guys like Steve Dietrich, the GM of the Bandits, another guy who's really helped pave the way. And then if we want to even go further back into the 90s, guys like Ross Cowie was the big goalie for the Bandits back in the day. And, Jim Veltman and other players who have really just, like you said, just paved the way for this league now. And then even if we transition into guys like that I grew up watching, like Anthony Cosmo, Mark Stainhouse, like those are more trailblazers who, grew the game. And I mean, Mark was, my favorite player growing up. And if it wasn't for a guy like that, who knows if I stick around in the game of lacrosse and I pay attention to it, because I know there are a ton of people out there who gravitated to him, as such a personable guy who is, so likable. And the league is just full of guys like that, now from the start until now. It's, always been a great league for that. And I think that's what really attracts people to it, especially here in the city of Buffalo. It's, when you have the Bills and the Sabres and these guys are multi-millionaires, sometimes they get a little bit away from it all. And like, you could still see Dane Smith walking down the street and he'll always stop for a picture. And so would somebody like Josh Byrne. And it's like these, they're so well known in this city, yet they're still very down to earth guys and are just such good people from, all across the league, really.
Well, organization from top to bottom. As far as what they've built there, I'm as far as elated for the fact that our head coach for the Yeti, Tony, was on the roster. Whether he played, I'm not 100% sure, but I know he was on there at least practice. He was on the game time type roster. They have their X amount of players on your rosters. So he played for Kilgore, I believe, right? Who was before John Traveris?
Well, it was JT and Richie Kilgore as a tandem in 2019, and then I believe it was Troy Cordingley and then Darius Kilgore before him for a while.
Okay, Tony played back in 2008, 2009.
So that would have been Darius.
Okay, yeah. So as far as just hearing him and knowing what he learned from those coaches and what he's learned through the years, obviously as coaching, playing, and being around the game and everything. But I love the way he brings the professional. We're not professionals. We're semi-pro guys wanting to have dreams, and that's what it's all about. But you want to know, he brings a sense of professional because he's been there. A lot of locker rooms aren't. They're, and not to say bar league. I know the upstate division. Everybody, the competitiveness between all of us GMs is pretty awesome. So the who can outdo who on what and everything, it's growing. But to have him know what it's like to be at that next level, to maybe dawn a light on one of my guys who might have aspirations of wanting to go to that next level, whether it's up in the ALL or whether it's up to Can-Am. You want to know what an advancement, and that's what I'm a facilitator. I want to see the advancement of a player to that next level, whatever it is. We had some guys that played for the PBLA for while it was existed, and you want to know what that experience was huge for them to bring back to the rest of our guys here at at the Yeti Nation, and it's opportunities like that because of legends of the NLL that started the fire and got the fire burning in Neil Paulus that plays for us as well. They know what it's like, and to watch a Neil Paulus take one of our rookie kids and not to say put him under his wing, but you know what? It's pretty cool when you're watching a legend of lacrosse coach up a kid, and to see that kid soak it in like it's you got the words of a legend coming to you, and then be able to play side by side with them and work it off once you get onto the bench and talk it over. What would you do? And that's what it's all about, spreading the love of the game, and legends do that.
You're absolutely right. I mean, it's great that you have legends like that up in Utica that can help develop those young players up there for you guys. That's such a you know a got to be an honor to have somebody like that just like
Huge.
affiliated with your organization. And I've seen that in the Can-Am League. I mean, if you look back to the champion Tuscarora Tomahawks from last season, a team that Greg and I got to cover a lot last year, and you look at a guy like Zach Belter, who was at the time just he's a first round pick of the Bandits, and he's getting coached by Roger Chrysler, an assistant coach for the Thunderbirds, Darius Kilgore, Joe Woodbury, like some of these guys who have been in the NLL coaching or just been around the game for their life. And it's like to see like the development of somebody like Belter, because I attribute some of his rapid development to being able to play in the Can-Am League and play box lacrosse and get coached by guys who have won championships as coaches, like a Darius Kilgore, who's won a championship as a coach. To have that as your coach, and for your one of your first few times playing box lacrosse is just invaluable. And then, oh yeah, when you make the Bandits team, your head coach is the best player of all time.
All time, right?
And then your development just shoots up through the roof. And we've seen that with Belter, because I'm pretty sure once he came into the lineup, he didn't leave. Like I played almost every game, if not every game, once he got healthy. And the coaching is a very big factor in that.
Yeah, yeah. When you got great coaches, great things happen. Clarkey did a great job with Albany this past year. Obviously, what happened in Buffalo, you win championships.
He was the well deserved coach of the year and GM of the year. Well deserved.
Well, you take him from last place to the championship game.
He was kind of a shoo-in, in my opinion, but
definitely did a great job.
Definitely earned it.
Absolutely. Props to Coach Clark, no question. Yeah. Now, before I get going too long, and maybe this is a little trivia question. Maybe somebody out there might know it. Maybe you might know it. I know I just learned about it today. Doing a little. I try to learn a little something every day. But as far as how many teams have won 3 in a row in the NLL?
Just one. Just won, the Rochester Nighthawks.
Okay,
we're bringing me back. We're bringing me back to the painful childhood of watching.
Really? Let's talk history now. Who's the last goalie that won 3 in a row?
It's got to be Matt Vince.
Matt Vince. Now, tell me that wouldn't be pretty. That's what told me today. I was talking to Greg, and after I'd seen that, I'm like, oh, there's no question he's coming back. There's absolutely no question. You're back to back, possibly the first goalie, and I don't care. You want to what records were made to be broke? That one ain't going to be broke. 2 different teams back to back to back. That would be all time. Where GOAT is definitely in there someplace.
I think there's no real debate about the GOAT status for Matt Vince. He's the best goalie I've ever seen. I mean, bringing it back to those Rochester teams that he was on, as a kid watching those games, I mean, he just tormented you. It's just, you could throw everything.
That was that whole Nighthawks team, though. You had Reggie Thorpe on that team, and you want to know what? Reggie was just a angry, awesome lacrosse player. That's just great stuff back. That's when I watched a little of box lacrosse growing up. Uh, per se, because a lot of the field guys were playing for the Nighthawks back in that time. I didn't get into box lacrosse until 4 years ago with this Yeti stuff, and now all of a sudden I'm sitting there, and it's like, you know, how many guys that played field for several of the club teams back in the day that played for the Rochester Nighthawks, and it's like, holy shit, and they're legends. My biggest fan, is Reggie Thorpe, and you know, after watching him for I back in Herkimer days when he was at Herkimer, what an incredible lacrosse player! Wow. But
Yeah.
anyhow, I'll get off
No,
on a legend and start talking. I don't know many, but I know that one. And what I watched him do on a lacrosse field, whether it was with the long pole or with the short pole playing some box, it was, I felt bad for the players.
yeah, yeah, I wouldn't want to be in their way when he's swinging the twig. But
Oh,
no, I mean, like those old Rochester teams, Reggie Thorpe being one of them. Matt Vince. They had plenty of exceptional players. Cody Jameson
Cody,
was another one.
family.
He's still going. Joe Walters. Corey Vitarelli. There's the list goes on. But for Matt Vince, one of the craziest stats that I saw recently, right before the finals started, was Albany had a combined total of 4 finals appearances on their team. Matt Vince has made 9 finals appearances on his own out of
Yeah,
18 seasons.
I
And he's
seen that
also
stat.
made the last 5 in a row.
Yep, I seen that stat. I mean, it's incredible some of these stats. I'll start reading through some of the stuff, and that's where I got that one that I talked to you, just talked about with Maddie. And it's like there's some incredible history out there. That's why I love where we live in Utica, is because we're in the mecca of lacrosse. Where we live in a historical aspect. It's incredible uh, what transpired here back in 1812, and without the Onondagas and the Mohawks and the Oneidas, of course, especially the Oneidas, doing what they did when George came up and extending a hand and let's have a truce concept and let's be one with the people. We're speaking like Britons. If it wasn't for them, we'd have an accent like somebody from England. So I can't say enough because I'm not no English accent kind of guy, but
Thank goodness for that.
right? Oh my goodness, it'd be like being in New England all the time. I don't want to be a patriot. That's what a patriot talks like, a brick. But as far as it's crazy. Congratulations to our NLL champions, Buffalo Bandits. Congratulations to the Albany Firewolves organization and all their players. Congratulations to the Buffalo Bandits fans, because that's what, especially the players. Players get paid, but the fans, we dole out a lot of money to go to these games, whether it's tailgating at the Southern Tier beforehand and then shooting over, or if you're in Utica and you come to a game beforehand, to the fans. Can't say enough for our fans being fans and us as fans doing what we do to support our teams, because it is fun to be a fan, that's for sure, and it's fun to watch Buffalo Bandits fans and Albany fans. You go to a football game, there's a chance you're going to see a fight. You go to a lacrosse game, and usually if there's a fight, it's on the rink, and everybody is happy when it's over. And you know what? Sometimes the guys will high five each other and go to the box. Sometimes they want to continue to go, but it's great to see fans enjoying themselves and enjoying the love of the game. That's for sure.
We got to get you up here for a Buffalo Toronto game. Then you might see a fight in the stands.
There might be. Does it get pretty crazy?
It usually in Banditland, it's all right. I mean, maybe it's a bit harder to tell because it's such a big arena, but I know when we go up to Hamilton, usually there's at least one or two, and there was one last time, but I think they were just a little bitter. I'd be bitter too if I lost to my biggest rivals 4
Right?
years and 4 seasons in a row and
In a
haven't won
row.
a playoff game against them in about a decade or so.
Dig
So
it in there, brother. Dig it in there, Trevor. Let them have it. You
I
can
got
do
you. I
that.
got you. This
You
is my
can.
time. This is
This
my
is your
chance.
time, brother. This is your time. How many? You was up at Niagara. You graduated from Niagara University, right?
I did. Just a few weeks ago.
Congratulations. That is an
Thank you.
awesome. So you're into the real world, or are you going to do some more studying?
Uh, I think it's real world time for me. I'm I do different freelance stuff, so I'm been working, and I got the connection here with Greg, which has been amazing, and just trying to build that up. Still living at home for right now, but in due time, it's gonna be out into the real world, and uh, you know, trying to make a living as a broadcaster, hopefully.
What's your major in?
I majored in sports management up at
Well,
Niagara.
awesome,
It
awesome.
was a great experience. I honestly, I don't know if anybody's watching who's, going to college soon or, thinking about that, but I would strongly encourage it, strongly recommend it. It's, you know, oh wait, yeah, another Canadian. I ain't no Canadian. I'm from the USA. I'm from America. America. No, Niagara's real close though. You can see it from campus. It's right across the water. It's great. It's a great place to go to school. We have a lot of Canadian students who come here. One of my good friends is from Canada, and he's a student up there as well. And if you want to work in sports, get a chance to work, ESPN shows, I'd strongly encourage anybody to go to school there.
Yeah, great programs. My son also is in the uh, is in the sports management program here at Utica University, and I'm trying so hard. I suck at this computer stuff. No, when I say I suck, I suck. I don't like it. Put me on a lawnmower. Let me do what I do and chat with who I chat with. I'm a facilitator. Put me on a computer. I suck, and I need him to help me out. And you know what? He's a busy kid. So, but as far as definitely get into there's so much, especially with technology nowadays, the sports management programs, it can open up doors. And hopefully, I'm shooting for continued success with you and with graduation and getting that out there and doing what you're doing with BSP and helping Greg grow his baby here. I know I'm trying my hardest to do what I can. Hopefully, I don't scare people away. Josh made it. We're glad you made it, Josh. He waited to the end. I finally get to meet Josh in Albany, and he's the big guy at the end that wears a cape, and he does a great job. I don't know how he's probably just got rid of his headache because he was the one with the freaking horn, and I'm standing next to him, and Josh is freaking railing, blowing. Props to you, Josh. You're a great fan. We talked about fans, and it's kids like you guys like you that make it awesome to go to venues and watch what we and watch the guys play because great guy, great kid, and keep doing what you're doing, Josh. But as far as and same with you, Trev. As far as grab the bull, bull by the horn. The world's coming. You got Can-Ams. You guys got so much box lacrosse up in Buffalo. It's crazy. Where down here, it's there's a tournament here, a little bit there. You guys, you want to pick 1, 5, 6 games. Which game do we want to go watch? Where's who's playing where? That's great stuff. And by the way, great interview with Al Snow. I think that was the inaugural. Was that your inaugural interview?
I think it was my second one. I think I did one
game.
previous one.
Yeah.
But with I believe I did it with Lucas Beaver from Newtown that game. But yeah, there was quite a few good ones in there, and then a few more good ones from Tonawanda as well against Grand River. And yeah, like you're saying about all the box lacrosse in the area, I mean, just from where I'm at, you have 2 Can-Am teams within an hour, and then within 2 hours you can get to 4 and go up to Canada. There's a plethora of them, and that's not far either. So it's so much box lacrosse action, the best kind of lacrosse in my opinion, and it's just great to be a part of it, really.
Absolutely, and the riverfront is starting to put together some good tournaments and everything. As is East Aurora. They got an awesome, beautiful rink, outdoor rink. Obviously, it's covered, but an outdoor venue, and some beautiful facilities up in the Western New York area. So if you're out there, definitely get out and watch some of these games. What's Josh saying? Sorry, we didn't talk much Friday. Yeah, I hear you. Fired up for the game, man. There's no question. There was so many people there, and it was on. There is next season. And Josh, you guys have got a loaded stable. We talked about it earlier. Albany is they're bright for the future. They're no question. They're a Comet ready to set its mark. No question.
Yeah, I mean, I never would have thought Albany would have made it this far. Like, if they'd have told me at the start of the year it would have been a Battle of New York, I would have said you would have had better odds of seeing, Buffalo, Rochester, Buffalo, New York, and hell, even New York and Rochester in the finals compared to Buffalo, Albany. But, Albany earned that spot. They, worked hard. They had, great leadership. And this is coming from somebody who was unsure of the safety of the job of Glenn Clark coming into this season. If they had another bad year, it could have gone awry for him, but he showed why he's one of the best coaches in the game.
He did. He did. And I can't wait to, he's obviously going to be leading Canada in the World Games too. So I know I'm going to be seeing more of him around here. There's a lot of, at the Nexus Center throughout the summer, there's a lot of championships, the USBL, LAX, the college, they have their championships here. Then there's another Canadian IBILLB. I don't know. There's so many different initials. I suck at that stuff, so I apologize. But as far as come August, this place is going to be incredible, and I can't wait because it's an awesome time of the year. As far as I'm about talked out, John. Trev. I've said so much, and I don't know what I've said, but I know I've said a lot. I know I'm excited as a Bandits fan. I'm happy. It's actually a long season because I know the very first game when we were down in Albany against Buffalo, that was a long time ago. And
feels like an eternity almost.
It was a long time ago. And
this weekend felt so long going, Friday in Albany, making the 4.5-hour trip back home, then for game 2, and then having the parade right the next day on Sunday afternoon. It was just like, a whirlwind of events in the span of 3 days.
Boom, I'm calling in on Monday. Oh, that's right. I don't have to be on until 8:30 tonight on Yeti Talks.
Yeah.
John, awesome job, my friend. Trev, awesome job. Josh, thank you for being a fan. The dude, thank you for being a fan. Mrs. Beach, thank you for you and Jared being our biggest fans. And I know Mrs. Noecker's out there. She's a huge fan too. But as far as I got to say, Yeti Nation, next week, hopefully we have Josh back with us here soon. Hopefully we have him down in Utica and we meet and we go out for dinner and a beer afterwards and celebrate a victory. Josh, it was a great meeting you. Happy congratulations to the Buffalo Bandits and you, my friend.
Well, I'm Trevor, but thank you very much.
I'm sorry, Trevor. See, once again, I effed up and I apologize.
It's all good.
I'm looking at Josh's name and I got Trevor's right in front of me. I'm reading it right in front of me and I'm calling him Josh. Sorry about that, brother.
Too many different names. It's all good.
It's all good.
No, thank you guys for having me. It's been a pleasure. I'd love to do it again. I'm an avid lacrosse fan, a big NLL guy. I'd love to make it out there to Utica as well. So we'll keep in touch about that as well.
Absolutely. But you know what? If you can't get here, the best place to watch it is on Yeti or Utica Yeti, because Blue Squatch will be producing it and it'll be on and you can hear us and you'll hear everything and see everything. And we're searching for a national championship just like the Buffalo Bandits.
Let's go.
Yeti Nation, until next week, Trevor Butts, thank you very much for being here and making my night, brother. Awesome job. Thank you, Yeti Nation. Till next week. The B-Dry system. Your basement's wet? Get a hold of B-Dry. Believe in 271. Nobody fights alone. Eric Kiefer, LUTCF, your local representative. George Kaler, Sales and Service. Liberty Affordable Housing. Rome Sign and Display Company. Nice Scoba. The men and women in blue, thank you for what you do. Robert Dix Insurance Agency. Contact Bobby Dix. Tri-City Lacrosse. 40 years of summer fun. Master Vito Hyundai. Contact the sales force. CRM Rental Management. The Clinton Tractor and Implement Company. Contact the Caledona family. Hello, Yeti Nation. Get down to the Bag Square Brewing Company, downtown Utica. Fay Farms. Where's the beef at? Contact Jimmy Fay. Family Landscaping. Make your neighbors green with envy. Contact Russ. The Black River Ale House. Where the Romans go. Dura Products. Who's got the pipe? Jimmy Fay's got the pipe. Contact